So I don't know about you guys, but today was a very, very interesting day in WWE. Today basically was, hey, can I request my release day? So today while I was at work, I heard the news that apparently the Revival requested their releases from WWE. And then hours later, the news came out that apparently Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis also requested their releases from WWE. Now, WWE has not made it official yet about the releases. It's not like right now if you go on WWE.com, you see breaking news. WWE has come to terms on the release of the Revival or of Mike Bennett or Maria Kanellis. I'm pretty sure it will happen. Now, apparently, Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis, or Mike Bennett, however you want to call him, okay, they requested their releases weeks ago. So just keep that in mind. Now, yes, I understand that this is the wrestling business, and if you're a wrestler in the WWE, for instance, right in this situation, if you're not happy with your position, then go elsewhere. Find your happiness. I'm a firm believer of that. But at the same time, let's keep it 100 here, okay? For WWE, this is not a big deal. Yes, I understand that the Revival were barely used on the main roster, and Mike Kanellis was just having fun being lost in 205 Live. Okay? Let's just keep that in mind too. I remember the Revival. I'm gonna start first with the Revival, okay? I remember watching the Revival back in 2015, going into 2016 in NXT, and I remember they really weren't my cup of tea. I wasn't really a fan of them, to be honest. And again, not that they weren't good, they just didn't spark my interest. And then I remember being there in Dallas for WrestleMania weekend for WrestleMania 32, and the Revival faced American Alpha for the tag titles. And it was a good match, all you want, but still, the Revival didn't do enough to really win me over. And it wasn't until TakeOver Brooklyn 2 in Brooklyn, New York for SummerSlam weekend, I was there at the Barclays Center, and they tore it up with DIY. And it was after that match that they won me over. Like, oh my God, these guys are fucking amazing. And again, they had good matches with American Alpha, DIY, the Authors of Pain, Kaz and Enzo, for instance, even them. But you say to yourself, okay, they're a throwback to an 80s tag team, the Brain Busters, all you want. They're going to go to the main roster. They're going to tear it up. They're going to win tag titles and all this. They're going to make tag team wrestling awesome again. And then they go to the main roster. And it looked like, hey, they were going to be tag team champions down real soon. They were on Monday Night Raw. They took out the New Day. And I believe it was Dash Wilder that got hurt. Or Scott Dawson, one or the other. One of them got hurt. So one of them had to be the singles guy. And then one of them got healed again, and then the other one got hurt. And all these injuries has really burned out their push. And after that, they were being used as guys to get beat up, whatever, at Raw 25. They were used to get, made fun of by the Lucha House Party and shit like that. Yeah, they had that one match, I want to say, against the Bar. It was either the Bar or McIntyre and Ziggler. And it was a good tag team match for the Raw tag team titles. And it really showed you that, hey, the Revival can be a force to be reckoned with. Should be a tag team that, hey, should be carrying the Raw tag team titles. And then the week after, they lose to Lucha House Party. That told you everything that the main roster thought of the Revival. And you know what? There was a point of me that said, hey, you know what? Maybe if they go to SmackDown Live, and you know what? Tear it up with the likes of the Usos, the New Day, the Club, if you will. Even the Colones, who you barely hear. I'm surprised that the fucking Colones have not even requested their releases yet. I'm just saying. And now, again, they're requesting their release. It's funny because apparently, I think it was Dash Wilder or Scott Dawson. Again, one or the other. On Twitter, talking about, hey, one day they're going to face the Young Bucks. I mean, I think when you saw that tweet, that should have just gave you the hint, okay, they're going to be on their way out. It's going to happen, motherflowers. And now you hear the news that, hey, they're on their way out, or they want their way, they want out. And again, nothing's for certain yet if they're going to get the releases or not. Apparently, WWE is in fear that they might go to AEW, which they might. At the same time, I would love to see the revival in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think they could definitely tear it up in New Japan, in my honest opinion. But again, nothing's in concrete yet if WWE is going to grant them their releases. But I think, honestly, with the revival, yeah, it's fucked up what happened. It's unfortunate. They deserve better. I'm not going to deny that. But at the same time, for WWE, for the main roster, that is, for Vince, it's not a big deal losing the revival. It really, really isn't. But let's see where they end up going. Now let's get to Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis. Or I'm sorry, Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis. However you want to call them, okay? Again, I remember when they came in the WWE, it was in 2017. I think it was for Money in the Bank. And they came out to that catchy theme song, The Power of Love. Let's be real about it. Everyone, when that theme song came out, everyone and their fucking mother was playing that song. I remember, I think it was episode 200. It was myself, Connor, that being Okayfabe, Walter, Chase. We had Anthony Missionary Tom from Wrestling Soup. And the intro to the podcast was The Power of Love by Mike Kanellis and Maria Kanellis. Yeah, and at the same time, Mike Bennett carried his wife's last name. I get that. I'll be honest with you too. The fact that they went straight to the main roster, to me, was kind of crazy. Because I feel like, honestly, Mike Bennett would have benefited a lot from going first to NXT. I get why, because, oh my God, Maria's a name. And if you're WWE television, you're going to SmackDown Live, you want to bring in Maria Kanellis, who's already been known by the WWE Universe, fine. But let's also bring in her husband. And let's just give him her last name, for fuck's sake. Again, I think he would have really benefited from going straight to NXT first and then going straight to the main roster, in my opinion. But hey, things happen. And then apparently, from my understanding, they weren't happy with the way he looked, how he looked, a little chubby, whatever. And it's kind of funny, too. And again, I met Mike Bennett before. Cool guy, awesome to talk to and shit. So is Maria. But I find it kind of crazy and kind of like a head scratcher, honestly. And again, I don't care if people get upset with this or not. How crazy is it, right, that, again, they're in WWE. They sign the WWE, and then out of nowhere you find out, oh my God, Mike Bennett or Mike Kanellis has these drugs problem, has these addiction to drugs, or a painkiller, whatever the fuck it was. This addiction, right? You find out about this addiction all of a sudden, right? And he goes to rehab. So WWE sponsors the fucking rehab. And then Maria gets fucking pregnant out of nowhere. So all these things, again, just fucked over their push. Because I gotta believe, honestly, there could have been something there with these two guys. There could have been something there with Maria and Mike. Maybe a U.S. title run or Intercontinental title run. But at the same time, again, all these stuff happened to them. All these circumstances took place. And yes, it's fucked up at the same time. I find it kind of coincidence that all this takes place just when they go to WWE. In WWE, again, they take care of Mike's rehab because they have to, right? So Mike went to rehab on WWE's dime. And that's not a bad thing or anything like that, but I just find it kind of ironic that he signs and boom, this shit happens. Then Maria gets pregnant. And again, WWE documents this shit. They put like a little mini documentary on their website or on their YouTube channel about Mike's journey. And after that, again, he goes to Monday Night Raw. He wrestles the house shows. I think also on Main Event. He did have that little spot in the Greatest Royal Rumble where he went in and just went over the top rope. And again, it just felt like, okay, there's nothing for this guy right now. And then he goes to 205 Live. And again, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't really watch 205 Live. But I know him and Maria were there. And they had a solid run from people that they've told me that watch 205 Live. And you hear then, oh, they're not happy. Can you blame them, really? Can you fucking blame these guys for not being fucking happy? Now, with Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis, people say, oh, AEW. Honestly, if you want my opinion, they need to go to Ring of Honor. Back to Ring of Honor. Again, with Ring of Honor right now, let's be real about it right now. Ring of Honor it really is missing some stars. They're missing stars right now. The Elite left, Cody left, the Bucks left, Hangman Page left, the SCU left as well. So they're missing star power right now. You bring back Mike Bennett, who is going to return with the WWE rub. Hey, it's something there. I think something could work there, in my opinion. Or if not, AEW. At the same time, too, listen, just because they get the releases doesn't mean, they can go anywhere right away. No, because you got to remember, these people will get a 90-day no-compete clause. So if anything, they won't be able to wrestle. Let's say for a minute they get released tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow they get released. Okay, they won't be able to wrestle for 3 months from now. So if it's January, by April time, they won't be able to wrestle on any major promotion that has pay-per-view or television. Just food for thought in case you guys forgot. So for all you motherfuckers out there want to go, go to AEW, man. Should be all elite. And one more thing, too. I think it's very, very annoying. I think it's stupid as hell, too. When dorky fans on Twitter tweet at the wrestlers where to go. Because at the end of the day, it's their decision. It's not our... Yeah, we can give an opinion all the fuck you want. But at the same time, let the wrestler decide where they want to go. Where they want to make their money. And all that. Again, it sucks what's happening, but at the end of the day, when you really think about it, it's not a big deal for WWE. It really, really isn't. And again, sometimes it's a situation where you think something big is going to happen for someone, and unfortunately, it doesn't always pan out that way. That's just the way the wrestling business is all about. That's my thoughts as always, guys. Give me your thoughts in the comments below. Your thoughts on all this. Where do you see any of them going? And all that fun stuff. Follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. And as always, guys, hate, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, it's me, it's Steve, and it's wrestling and whatever. Peace out, mother flowers.